At the beginning of February, I made and modified 2 budgie boxes to go in my aviary and rigged them with cameras so we could see what's going on inside. Here is what happened next.
Welcome back to the channel. If you're a regular here, you'll know exactly where we're up to in this little series of the budgie boxes. But if you're new here and newly subscribed, then thank you very much. If you've just stumbled across this video for the very first time, then you probably haven't got a clue what I'm talking about. So I suggest you go onto the channel and have a look at the Budgie Box Cams playlist. If you can't be bothered to do that, then I'm just going to give you a quick recap as to where we are. Like I said at the very beginning of the video, at the beginning of February, I built and modified 2 budgie boxes to house cameras so we could see the exact process of the egg laying and egg hatching. Well, it didn't go to plan, but it did start out alright. It wasn't long before we had a mum-to-be settled in box number 1 and she quickly laid an egg. And it wasn't long before she laid a second egg, and all of a sudden she'd laid 7 eggs. Yes, 7. Over the process of the next couple of weeks, she seemed lovingly looking after these eggs. But after candling them around day 23, it turns out that none of the embryos were forming and all the eggs were removed. After getting over the initial shock of the eggs being removed from her box, she quickly laid another egg, but this time round wasn't right. She didn't seem to be caring about the eggs. Some young juveniles that were in the aviary were coming in and out the box and kicking them around, and even the mum-to-be started kicking the eggs around herself, and it wasn't long before they were broken on the floor. Then there was a period of quiet, probably around about 2, nearly 3 weeks of nothing happening, just budgies flicking from box 1 to box 2, back to 1, back to 2, and eventually the mum that had the failed 7 in box 1 decided to settle into box 2 and laid an egg. And then with the unwritten rule of laying an egg every other day, she quickly went from 1 to 3. This time round she looked way more settled and way more caring for the eggs. And that brings you up to date. Well, that was a bit of a recap, wasn't it? But here we are, all up to date and still on track to hatch some budgies out. Well, not me, mum-to-be. Speaking of mum-to-be, she quickly turns 3 eggs into 4 eggs. Good girl. Now, remembering how much she struggled with the 7 eggs in her first attempt, I was starting to get a bit worried as the eggs kept coming. But it all just seemed to stop that day. 9 days have actually passed since she laid egg number 4, which in a way is a good thing. 4 eggs is way more manageable than 7 eggs, so we can only hope and keep our fingers crossed for success. Meanwhile, over in box number 1 is still a doss house for black cheeks and greys. Pretty much anything that's not a budgie. Meanwhile, over in the box that doesn't have a camera in it, Opal's sitting pretty on 6 eggs and a finch egg.
If I could take you up in boom boom bosh, boom boom, tell me I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream, sweetheart. Life could be a dream.
Now I'm going to try not to read into this too much, but the sky blue male has been hanging around a lot more ever since mum-to-be moved into Budgie Box 2. Probably doesn't mean anything, and it's probably OG dad that is going to be the dad if the eggs hatch, but you never know.
If I could take you up in boom boom bosh, boom boom, tell me I'm the only one that you love.
Now each and every day, at least 2 or 3 times a day, the greys and the black cheeks will push their luck and try their hardest to build a nest inside box 2. But mum-to-be doesn't have a care in the world. As long as they're doing it at that end, well away from her, she just doesn't seem to be bothered. I have no idea how Snail Boy here got inside the aviary, let alone the budgie box, which is a complete and utter lie, because I recall doing this earlier, just so I could say this here, pretty much anything that's not a budgie. But I can do that because it's my video. I best actually go and get it out. And whilst I'm in there, I need to move that camera because it's freaking me out. It looks like a robot that's been caught doing something it shouldn't be. So there we go then, another episode in the bag. I think mum-to-be settling on 4 eggs rather than 7 is a much more manageable option. Fingers crossed, and I am feeling really hopeful this time, I really am. We will get Budgies hatched out on camera. If that happens, then I have plans to change camera angles again. I have been in the aviary and moved the camera that's facing Budgie Box 1 because honestly, it was freaking me the hell out. Not sure what's going to happen over in the box with no cameras. We've had this before with the budgie eggs and the finches, and I candled the whole lot and everything had to go. So fingers crossed we don't go through the same thing again. I've yet to still get to the auction to get some female zebra finches. It's all on me, my bad. It was actually the first Sunday of every month. It's now the second Sunday, which makes it a little bit more difficult. But I'll try my hardest because, well, I've got lots of male zebs that, you know, need a partner. So I'm actually hoping the next step of this video is to actually have an egg hatch in front of the camera. That's the plan anyway. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a like. If you're not subscribed, please consider that too, because it helps me out a lot. I shall see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.